हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण
कोई नहीं है, अभी तक कोई नहीं है। आती है आपको बचानी? ये सीनियर डिवोटीज के लिए। ये वाली मैट आप आगे कर दीजिए। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी, यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना, यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना, यमुना तीरावनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी, जय राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे, जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे, जय वृंदावन धाम जय वृंदावन धाम, वृंदावन धाम जय वृंदावन धाम, जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय, जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद,
वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3. Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Text number 15. Rupam sa jagrihe matsyam. Rupam sa jagrihe matsyam. Rupam sa jagrihe matsyam. Chakshusha udhi samplave. Chakshushodadhi samplave. Chakshushodadhi samplave. Navi aropya mahi mayyam. Navyaropya mahi mayyam. Navyaropya mahi mayyam. Apad vaivasvatam manum. Apad vaivasvatam manum. Apad vaivasvatam manum. Rupam sajagrihe matsyam. Chakshushodadhi samplave. Navyaropya mahi mayyam. Apad vaivasvatam manum. Rupam sajagrihe matsyam. Chakshushodadhi samplave. Navyaropya mahi mayyam. Apad vaivasvatam manum. Rupam sajagrihe matsyam. Chakshushodadhi samplave. Vaivasvatam manum. Matajis. So the verse. माताजी बोलिए. हाँ वो नहीं, श्लोका दिखाना अभी बोल. रूपम सजगृहे मात्स्यम. चक्षुषोदधि संप्लवे. Navyaropya mayyam. Apad vaivasvatam. Rupam, form. Saha, he, Jagrihe, accepted, Matsyam, of a fish, Chakshusha, Chakshusha, Udadhi, water, Samplave, inundation, Navi, on the boat, Aropya, keeping on, Mahi, the earth, Mayam, drowned in, Apat, protected, Vaivasvatam, Manu, Manu, the father of man. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. When there was a complete inundation after the period of the Chakshusha Manu, and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of a fish and protected Vaivasvata Manu, keeping him up on a boat. Kindly repeat. When there was a complete inundation after the period of the Chakshusha Manu, and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of a fish and protected Vaivasvata Manu, keeping him up on a boat. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki. According to Sripada Sridhara Swami, the original commentator on the Bhagavatam, there is not always a devastation after the change of every Manu. And yet, this inundation after the period of Chakshusha Manu took place in order to show some wonders to Satyavrata. But Srila Jiva Goswami has given definite proofs from authoritative scriptures like Vishnu Dharmottara, Markandeya Purana, Harivamsha, etc., that there is always devastation after the end of each and every Manu. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti has also supported Srila Jiva Goswami, and he, Sri Chakravarti, has also quoted from Bhagavatamrita about this inundation after each Manu. Apart from this, the Lord, in order to show special favor to Satyavrata, a devotee of the Lord, in this particular period, incarnated himself. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are we'll be discussing on one of the incarnations, Leela Avataras, pastime incarnation of Krishna, known as Matsya Avatara. Rupam sa jagrahe matsyam. Lord accepted the form of a fish. Right? Previously we have been hearing Lord accepting different forms. In the previous verse we saw how Lord accepted the form of King Prithu, a human. Again, as Lord Rishabha, human form. Right? Yajna, again a human form. Whereas here we see Lord has accepted a different form, aquatic form. Very totally cannot accommodate so easily how Lord can take a fish form. Right? So now we'll see many such incarnations, descriptions further from here. How Lord will take the form of a kurma, tortoise, and half man, half lion, right? Like this. So here specifically in this verse, Suta Goswami is describing that incarnation of Matsya, fish incarnation, happened during the end of Manvantara, sixth Manvantara, called Chakshusha Manvantara. Just to give a understanding of what is Manvantara. Manvantara is the time duration of the ruling of one Manu. There are 14 Manus coming during the day of Brahma. Brahma's day is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyad Brahmano Viduhu. 1000 cycles of 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dvapara and Kali. These yugas, 1000 times cycles, that is one day of Brahma, 12 hours of Brahma. So during 12 hours of Brahma, there are 14 Manus appearing. And who is this Manu? Prabhupada says Manu means the father of man. Basically, he is going to give directions to the human society how to conduct our life based on Vedic principles. Right? So these Manus come and guide the human society with various directions as per the Vedic understanding. So the first Manu is called Swayambhuva Manu. Like that, there are names of all the Manus. We read about this Swayambhuva Manu in verse number 12. Right? Swayambhuva Manvantaram. Right? At that time, in that Manvantara, Swayambhuva Manu's period, there was an incarnation by name Yajna. Right? Likewise, second Manvantara, third Manvantara, the sixth Manvantara is called Chakshusha Manvantara. Why? Because one personality by name Chakshu was ruling he was controlling the whole planet. And right now, the Manvantara or the period of Manu which we are going through as per the universal time scale is the seventh Manvantara. And it is called Vaivasvata Manvantara. Why? Because there is a Manu by name Vaivasvata Manu. And this is what, we can see here, references being given. Prabhupada says, Chakshusha Manu, Vaivasvata Manu, all these personalities, we should be able to relate what it is from the universal time scale. Okay. So right now it is 7th Manvantara going on, which means in the day of Brahma, it is almost like a afternoon. Right, 14 Manus are there in a day. 7th Manvantara is almost in the middle of the day. Right? 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock it is. So another 8 or another 7 Manus have to come. So all those descriptions are there in the Bhagavad. So this is about the time scale with regard to which Bhagavatam is speaking. Generally, when we hear some news in the television channels or some media, through media, we are only limited to a time scale of, say, few years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, maximum 100 years, that's all. There is a column in Times of India wherein they say 100 years ago this event happened. That is the maximum history one can have properly. Whereas Bhagavatam is giving us an understanding of history which has happened many, many millions of years ago. Just to give an understanding of what is this so much huge time scale descriptions, how it is. Because if you see Kali Yuga, the duration of Kali Yuga is how much? 4,32,000 years. And of which only 5,000 years have passed. So another 4,27,000 years yet to complete. And previous Yuga, Dvapara Yuga, is double of this Kali Yuga duration. 4,32,000 into 2, how much it is? 8,64,000 years. Oh. And Treta Yuga is thrice Kali Yuga duration. How much it is? No, thrice is around 12, 13 will come. Right? roughly around 12 lakhs. 4 lakh 32 into 3, right? It comes to roughly around 12 lakh 96,000, right? Around 13 lakhs you can take. Satya Yoga is 4 times, it's around 17 lakhs. So 17, 13, 8 and 4. If you add, it comes to around 43. 43 lakh years is Brahma's 1,000 cycles, one cycle only. Like that, 1,000 cycles. So how much it is? 43 lakh into 1,000. That is Brahma's one day. 12 hours is only that much. Just see how time is so relative. For us, we see one child is born. After 5 years, oh, it has grown so much. After 10 years, oh, it has become a boy. So we have one more type of time scale in our mind. Whereas Bhagavatam is describing a different time scale. Universal time scale. Brahma's duration. How Brahma is going through. The Brahma's day, all is happening, one day only. What about his lifetime? What all will happen? So 14 Manus in a day of Brahma, if it is for a month for Brahma, how many Manus come? 14 into 30, how much it is? 52 or 42, right? 42. 420, sorry. 420 Manus come. Into 12, 5,000 some odd numbers. And if you say 100 years, oh, 1 lakh Manus come. So it's huge. So you should understand how Bhagavatam is expanding our understanding. There are nice terms in Bhagavatam. We are all cripple-minded. We only see like a horse, a limited area, limited understanding we have. Whereas Bhagavatam says you have to be udara manasa. Means you should expand your understanding. Right? So, this is what here Sutta Goswami is telling, that during the end of Chakshusha Manu or Manvantara, what happened? There was an inundation, there was a flood. Pralaya happened. And during that Pralaya time, everything was submerged in water. So Lord appeared as Matsya Avatara and he protected the next Manu who is going to become personality. Actually his name was Satyavrata Raja, King Satyavrata. He had not become Manu now. He was just, that this pastime happened that time. The Lord appeared and he protected this Satyavrata was going to become Vaivasvata Manu. He was pulling a big boat along with his body, and all the sages, everybody got assembled on this big boat. That is the incarnation. That slide you have with Matsya Avatara. Yes, sure. Just to get an understanding of what is Matsya Avatara. One more. Yeah, just see. This is Matsya Avatara. Huge fish. He became assumed, because full of water, what to do? Which form can appear? Only fish can very happily, be in the water, right? So Lord assumed the form of a fish. And he boarded all the great sages and the king, the Vedic literatures, and then he saved them. That's what this verse is telling. Right? So there is a nice description of this Matsya Avatara in the Bhagavatam, 8th canto. Separate chapter is there. So we'll try to understand from that chapter more details. Parishit Maharaj was very anxious to know about a specific incarnation of Lord who has appeared as fish. Even though Lord comes in the material world taking the form like any other entity, keep that slide of Matsya Avatar. Any other entity like a tortoise, a fish, or like a horse incarnation, Hayagriva. Horse means horse face Lord had. Many such incarnations the Lord comes, but he is not material, like material, he is not having a material body like us. He is always transcendental. So Parishit Maharaj specifically asked Shukadeva Goswami, I wish to hear about the pastimes of this Matsya Avatara, fish incarnation. I know Lord is transcendental. Transcendental means he is not of this material world, but he assumes a form for a specific purpose. Right? Very uncommon form he assumes. And his fish form, you will see, is not ordinary fish, small fish, not even whale. It's huge. Some millions of miles long. Right? So Parikshit further says, what was the purpose of this incarnation of the Lord? Because generally, if you see in the evolution cycle, evolution begins with aquatics. Jalaja navalakshani stavara lakshavimshati. When a living entity falls down, he first takes the form of an aquatic. And the aquatic form is considered to be the lowest, abominable form. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Urdhvam gachanti satvasta madhye tishtanti rajasa jaganna guna vrittista ado gachanti tamasa. Deepest tamoguna is aquatics. That's why Prabhupada in one context he says, eating fish or aquatics is the most abominable food they are eating. That's what Shastras say. So, Parikshit's question was, why did Lord take such an abominable form of a fish? Exactly like an ordinary living being. Because the form of a fish is certainly condemned and full of terrible pain. Just see. This is the understanding of Vedic scriptures. So what was the purpose of this incarnation? Shukadeva Goswami, please tell me. So Shukadeva Goswami starts describing that Lord only appears for purpose of protecting his devotees. And specifically when he comes, along with protecting devotees, he also protects cows, brahmanas, demigods, and the Vedic scriptures. Go vipra sura sadhunam chandasamupi cha ishvaraha. Lord comes only for that. That's what he says in Bhagavad Gita. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chatushkatam. That is the purpose he comes. Right? In order to establish the principles of dharma, he comes. And he accepts different incarnations. Right? So he gives a very nice example, Shukadeva Goswami. Like the air passing through different types of atmosphere, the Supreme Lord, although appearing sometimes as a human being and sometimes as lower animal, is always transcendental. Because he is above the material modes of nature, he is unaffected by the higher and lower forms. In our case, we are subjected to higher and lower forms. Higher form means a form of a devata or a human being. Lower form means form of an animal, aquatic, bird, tree. We are subjected to the laws of karma. Whereas Krishna is not subjected to the laws of karma. He is transcendental. When he comes down, it is his leela. Leela means on his own will. For his own pleasure, he assumes a form. That's the difference. In our case, it's not leela. We are forced by our karma. Karmana daivanetrena jantur deho vattaye. Bhagavatam says that based on our karma, we are forced to take birth. It's like all of in our lives. How we got this body, we also don't know. Going through this life. Our previous karma has resulted this body for us. So this is what Shukadeva Goswami is telling. When Lord comes, it is not force of karma. It is his pastime, leela. Further he says, how? This Matsya Avatara, not that only once he has come, twice he has come in this day of Brahma. We heard similarly about Varaha Avatara. There is two Varaha Avataras. Shveta Varaha and Rakta Varaha. 2 times Lord appeared. Right? So likewise, Matsya also has come 2 times in this day of Brahma. So he appeared in the beginning also. When the day of Brahma began, that time also he has appeared. So the description is, Shukadeva Goswami says, when one day of Brahma was completed, it was night. At the end of Brahma's day, because Lord Brahma sleeps during the night. It's like we also sleep during the night. Brahma's one day is 12 hours. It is 1000 cycles of 4 yugas. Likewise, Brahma's night also is 12 hours. 1000 cycles of 4 yugas. Same. Which means 24 hours of Brahma means it is 2000 cycles of 4 yugas. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So, when Brahma's night comes, what happens? Except Brahmaloka, everything else becomes inundated with water. Flood happens. Pralaya happens. Right? And the 3 worlds will be covered with the water of the ocean. It's like that famous, you can open that, this one? Jayadeva Goswami's song. It's a nice kirtan we have. All of us are familiar with this. Pralaya payodhi jale dhritavanasi vedam. Sing. Pralaya payodhi jale dhritavanasi vedam. Vihitavahitra charitam makhedam. Vihitavahitra charitra makhedam. Keshavadhrita meena sharira. Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Keshavadhrita Nasharira, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare. So Jayadeva Goswami, one of the great Vaishnava poets, he is describing the 10 incarnations, Dashavatara. Out of the Dashavatara, first one is described as Matsya Avatara. This Keshava, you only have assumed the form of Matsya, fish. All glories to you. Why? Because you acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish, just to give protection to the Vedas, which had become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation. You see? So when we hear this kirtan, we should relate this pastime. That is the whole purpose of kirtan. Kirtan is not that you are hearing something and your mind is running somewhere else. Kirtan means, more and more when you hear about Krishna from Gita, Bhagavatam, those aspects should come in your remembrance. Smaranam. Kirtan is going on, but you are thinking of something else. Yesterday, I saw IPL match. He would have played like this, no? Hare Krishna is going on. That is not the way. Pastimes, remembrance. When you have read, this will come. When you have heard, it will come. If you have not heard, it will not come. Our consciousness will only give, or rather our memories will only have those thoughts what you have fed. If you have not fed your consciousness, your memory with Krishna thoughts, some other material thoughts will come. Right? So here, the first Matsya Avatara happened during the Brahma's, when Brahma's night happened, flood, pralaya happened, inundation happened, everything was covered by water. So Lord appeared at that time. And at what time? What happened at that time? At the end of Brahma's day, Brahma felt sleepy and desired to lie down. And Brahma is the personality from whose mouth Vedas were emanating. Because Krishna has instructed Brahma within his heart, Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye. And Brahma is that personality from whom Sampradaya has begun. So he is the source of Vedas. He is giving out Vedic knowledge to all his next descendants. So when he became sleepy, but nevertheless Vedas were emanating from his mouth. That time, one great demon by name Hayagriva, he stole the Vedic knowledge. That knowledge that is coming out from Brahma's mouth, he stole. So Lord understood this demon's actions. This demon was called Hayagriva. Immediately the Supreme Lord Hari, which is all powerful, who is all powerful, he assumed the form of a fish and saved the Vedas by killing the demon. This is the first Matsya Avatara, what happened. So Prabhupada nicely says, because everything was inundated by water, to save the Vedas, it was necessary for the Lord to assume the form of a fish. Appropriately. It's full of water, what he will do? Which form he will take? Right? So Lord also assumes a form appropriate to the situation, which people can relate. Now, after this first incarnation of Matsya, second incarnation of Matsya happens during the Chakshusha Manvantara. It is the sixth Manvantara. So there was during the Chakshusha Manvantara, towards the end, there was a king by name Satyavrata, who was a great devotee of the Supreme Lord, and Satyavrata was performing severe austerities to please the Lord, and he was only drinking water. You see, we drink water every now and then, and also eat. Whereas Satyavrata was not eating anything, only drinking water. And this Satyavrata is going to become the son of the sun god known as Vivaswan, who is the king of the sun planet, and next life he'll be known as Shraddha Deva. And with the Lord's mercy, he'll become the next Manu, at seventh Manu, present situation, present time. Right? So Vaivasvata Manu, because the son of Vivaswan is called Vaivasvata Manu, his actual name is Shraddha Deva. Right? So one day, this King Satyavrata was performing severe austerities by offering water on the bank of a river by name Kritamala. So while he was offering water, he was just like, take water and offer like this. A small fish came into his hands, palms. You have image of that? Yeah, see? King Satyavrata, he was performing oblations to the Kritamala river. Small fish came in his palms. The king, Satyavrata was the king of South, Dravida Desha. He threw the fish, because something has come, he threw the fish into the water of the river along with the water in his palm. Right? Then after that what happened? A voice, appealing voice he heard. Actually the fish was talking. The small fish was talking. He started speaking, my dear king, protector of the poor, why are you throwing me in the water of the river? Where there are so many aquatics, they'll all kill me. I am very much afraid of them. Right? So Satyavrata Maharaj, as a Kshatriya, he is supposed to give protection to anybody who surrenders. He is very merciful also. So this very appealing voice, this small fish started speaking to Satyavrata Raja. So King Satyavrata also took mercy. He didn't know this fish is actually Supreme Lord in the form of a fish. And he started giving protection. He wanted to give protection to the fish. So the merciful king, being moved by the pitiable words of the fish, placed the fish in a jug of water and brought him to his own residence. This is what happened. Afterward, what happened? But in one night, that fish grew to so much that he could not move his body comfortably in the water of the pot. Within one night, it became big. It was so small, it has become big. So this fish is telling the king, "Oh my dear king, I do not like living in the water pot with such great difficulty. Therefore, please find some better reservoir of water where I can live comfortably." Right? You have one more slide. Hare Krishna. Yeah, let it be like this. Okay. So, a small pot, he wanted a big reservoir of water. Then taking the fish out of the water pot, the king threw him in a large well. But within a moment, the fish developed to the length of 3 cubits. 3 cubit means 3 hands, 3 hastatrayam. This much big it became. Small it was, it grew into water size this much, then became this much. Within a moment. Right? Then the fish said, my dear king, this reservoir of water is not fit for me, for my happy residence. Please give me a more extensive pool of water, for I have taken shelter of you. Right? Then the king took the fish from the well and threw him in a lake. Right? But the fish then assumed a gigantic form exceeding the extent of the water. From a small pot to a well to a lake also it expanded within no time. Right? Then the fish said, O king, I am a large aquatic and this water is not at all suitable for me. Now kindly find some way to save me. It would be better to put me in the water of a lake that will never reduce. Right? So when that Lord requested like this, King Satyavrata took the fish to the largest reservoir of water. But when that also proved insufficient, the king at last threw the gigantic fish into the ocean. It's expanding. Right? Just see the size of the fish. You can see lake is so huge, that big, and ocean is so huge. There the king threw that fish. While he was throwing the fish to the ocean, the fish started telling, oh hero, in this water there are very powerful and dangerous sharks that will eat me. Therefore, you should not throw me in this place. Again, it is requesting to protect. After hearing these sweet words from the Supreme Lord in the form of a fish, the king was bewildered. Right? He was astonished. What is happening here? So he is asking, who are you, sir? You simply bewilder me. Right? This is how Lord pastimes happen. It's bewildering. As Kunti Mahani says, Vidambanam. How Lord, Supreme Controller, he is being controlled by Yashoda. She is throwing a stick. I'll beat you. You're stealing butter. It's bewildering. Lord controlling everybody. He is controlled by a devotee. He is afraid of a devotee. So Lord's pastimes are called Vidambanam. They are bewildering for ordinary people. So the king started telling, my lord, in one day you have expanded yourself for hundreds of miles, covering the water of the river and the ocean. Before this I had never seen or heard of such an aquatic animal. This is Lord. Lord is not like ordinary person or ordinary entity. In one day, a small fish has expanded size of ocean. It is something supernatural or super power, right? So now Satyavrata Maharaj, by his devotion, he could realize that he is Supreme Lord himself. So he says, my Lord, you are certainly the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, Sri Hari. It is to show your mercy to the living entities that you have now assumed the form of an aquatic. O my Lord, Master of creation, maintenance and annihilation, O best of the enjoyers, Lord Vishnu, you are the leader and destination of surrendered devotees like us. Therefore, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto you. See, Lord appears only to our vision of devotees only, not for ordinary persons. That's why Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Avajananti Mamudha. For ordinary persons, he will remain like an ordinary person. For devotees, they can recognize Krishna every moment. So when Lord is showing his different wonderful pastimes like this, as a devotee, King Satyavrata understood, oh, this is Lord himself. He realized Lord gave this mercy to him. So this Satyavrata Raja is telling, all your pastimes and incarnations certainly appear for the welfare of all living entities. Therefore, my Lord, I wish to know the purpose for which you have assumed this form of a fish. So this king asked the Lord himself, why you have assumed this Matsya Avatara? What is the purpose? So for which the Lord started answering, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. See, this is one important thing in Bhagavatam also. He's not telling Shri Matsya Uvacha. He's telling Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. In Bhagavad Gita also he say, he's not telling Krishna Uvacha, he's telling Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The same Supreme Lord Krishna can assume any form. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Anantarupam. The same Lord can assume innumerable, wonderful forms. Powerful. All forms are powerful like Krishna only. That's why it's called Bhagavan Vacha. The Supreme Lord said, O King, you are never conquered by your enemies, and actually from today, 7th day from today, whole world will become inundated. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha, everything will be merged with water. Trailokyam, Bhu, Bhuvadikam, Apyayam Bodho, means it will be covered with water. Inundation will happen, floods will happen. When all the three worlds merge into the water, a large boat sent by me will appear before you. This is what you are seeing. This is what the description the Matsya is giving to the Lord. Right? When after 7th day from today, there will be a flood, pralaya, and a large boat will come, which I have sent to you. Thereafter, O King, you should collect all the types of herbs and seeds and load them on the great boat. Then accompanied by the 7 rishis and surrounded by all kinds of living entities, you shall get aboard that boat, and without moroseness, you shall easily travel with your companions on the ocean of inundation, the only illumination being the effulgence of the great fish. Great rishis. So very clear instructions Matsya Avtara is giving to, Lord is giving to Satyavrata Maharaj. Everything you load on that boat is a big, huge boat. All the rishis, all the herbs, all the Vedas, everything you load. And, rishis are very self-effulgent. That is the only, otherwise everything will be dark, inundation. Then, as the boat is tossed about by the powerful winds, attach the vessel to my horn by means of the great serpent Vasuki, for I shall be present by your side. Show the next slide, the earlier one. Just see. There's a rope tying the boat. What is that rope? That rope is Vasuki. We had similar instance of Vasuki helping when? Samudra Manthana. Where was Vasuki tied? Mandara Parvata, right? He was tied, and one side Asuras, one side Devatas. They are pulling for churning the ocean. So, Matsya is telling that, Matsya Avtara is telling that like this, Vasuki will help you to see that the boat is tied and will sail through. Then as the boat is tossed about by the powerful winds, attach the vessel to my horn by means of the great serpent Vasuki, for I shall be present by your side. Pulling the boat with you and all the rishis in it, O King, I shall travel in the water of devastation until the night of Lord Brahma's slumber is over. See? Until the end of Brahma's night, which means 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas, I will be there with you. This is how Lord is always Bhakta Vatsala. He will never see that devotee is unprotected. Always, Lord is going to protect devotees. Kaunte pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Such a long duration of time, Lord is with, at least, we can say Brahma's night, whole night he is there with Satyavrata Maharaj. Right? Further it is said, you will be thoroughly advised and favored by me, and because of your inquiries, everything about my glories, which are known as Param Brahma, will be manifest within your heart. Thus you will know everything about me. So like this, after instructing the king, the Supreme Lord disappeared. Right? Basically that time, Lord has appeared as Matsya in front of Satyavrata to give this instruction. What is going to happen, what we should do. Right? So then, Satyavrata Maharaj began to wait for the opportune moment as per the Lord's instruction. Right? So like this, further description goes on, but just to give an understanding of what is Matsya Avatara. Later on, Lord appears And Satyavrata Maharaj offers prayers, wonderful prayers are there in this chapter. So basically, there is a very vivid description of every avatara, like Matsya Avatara, why he appeared, in what form he appeared. And in fact, it is said that the form of this Matsya Avatara was 8 million miles when he appeared. 8 million miles means 80 lakh miles. Huge. Right? So like this, descriptions in the Bhagavatam is not something which we can comprehend with our limited understanding. Nevertheless, all these pastimes of Lord are all divyam, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. My appearance, my pastimes, my activities, everything is transcendental. And one who can know these activities of mine, my appearance, everything in truth, in fact, then he will not take one more birth. Tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti Arjuna. You see? So like this, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that understanding about me means Krishna and Krishna's various incarnations, Krishna's various other manifestations, how he is sitting as Paramatma in our heart, how he has appeared as holy name. Right? Lord can appear any form. In Kali Yuga has come as sound incarnation. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Like this, Lord is again and again appearing in different ways. Just understanding the glories of the Lord like this, absorbing our mind, always like this in Lord's various leelas, various activities, is going to be cause of our liberation from this world. Tektva deham punarjanma naiti. Just see. That's all. Our mind should be only absorbed like this, hearing these pastimes. So nice to understand this Matsya Avatara, the description, the way Bhagavatam is telling us. Why it happened, why it appeared. So in this context, let us again sing this Jayadeva Goswami's Kirtan. Can you display that slide? Pralaya Payodi Jale. Pralaya Payodhi Jale Dhritavanasi Vedam. Pralaya Payodhi Jale Dhritavanasi Vedam. Vihita Vahitra Charitra Makhedam. Vihita Charitra Vahitra Keshavadhita Meena Sharira. Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jaya Keshavadhita Meena Sharira, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare, Jai Jagadisha Hare. So this is Matsya Avatara. So we should remember this fast time of Matsya. Okay? So I'll close here. Anybody has anything to ask, discuss, comment? Yes. Please tell me.
Just a little bit inquisitive about this, that in the first millennium, in the beginning of the day of Brahma,
yes.
Lord appeared. Then in the sixth. So was there no pralaya in between?
This is what Prabhupada explains in purport. It's technical. I didn't go into details of that. Now that you asked, I'll let you explain to you. Actually, pralaya happens at the end of the day of Brahma. That is when the night begins. That is how generally it happens. But this is something unusual. It's happened in between in the day of Brahma. So, specifically about this aspect, Prabhupada is referring from Jiva Goswami, then Sripada Sridhara Swami. So there was a partial devastation. Specifically to favor his devotee, Satyavrata Maharaj, Lord appeared. To enact this pastime, this inundation happened. That's what Prabhupada explains here. That all the acharyas in various scriptures, all is described, generally devastation will happen at the end of the day of Brahma. But it has happened in between. It's something unusual. Again, Lord, whenever, whatever He wants, He will do for His devotees' pleasure. He wanted to please King Satyavrata. That's the reason He manifested that Leela of inundation. It's like we hear in Bhagavatam, in the 12th canto, about Markandeya Rishi. Markandeya Rishi has got a benediction that he will live long life. So many kalpas. Kalpa means many days of Brahma. Right? So once he had a desire that I want to see the devastation, how it will be. Right? So at that time, it was all a normal time scale going on. But he wanted to see. He wanted to experience Pralaya, how it will be. So Lord created a situation of Pralaya for His pleasure. That is how, that is why, that is the time when Lord assumed the form, a small baby form, and He was lying under a Vatavriksha on a leaf. That Vatavriksha form, you see? That is then when Pralaya happened, everything was submerged, and Markandeya Rishi it was like, in a movie you see, sometimes you experience that 3D movie, you're in a flood and you had that experience. And that Lord created a situation for him, Pralaya. And then he could experience everything is submerged and he is almost drowning, and everything is floating around. And finally he came to a place, effulgent place. One place was very effulgent under a tree, under a banyan tree. That was not submerged. There Lord was lying down in his small form, baby form, and he was sucking his own toes. So the description goes how Lord is tasting his own lotus feet, because he's seeing what is there in my lotus feet. All devotees are trying to come and become attached to my lotus feet, charana. Right? So that form, that pastime have. So like this, as per devotees' desires, Lord also manifests various leelas. So this here specifically it is mentioned that Prabhupada says, yet this inundation after the period of Chakshusha Manu took place in order to show some wonders to Satyavrata Maharaja. He wanted to show. Hey, Arjuna wanted to see a wonderful universal form on the battlefield. Lord showed. So Lord is obliged to His devotees. He is controlled by His devotees. He can do anything for His devotees. That is what we can say here. Satyavrata was such a great devotee, he has appeared to show mercy. Okay? Yeah. Fine. So let's close here. Nantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Pralaya